The last episode of True Beauty doesn't need much explanation on the surface level because it's quite self-explanatory. But this video will highlight the hidden meanings and the deeper meanings behind the actions of characters in the last episode. Episode 16 starts with Seojun dropping off Kyung. Seojun ends the day by hugging her. Hugging is a very important and highly regarded act of affection in Korean dramas. We have seen through our years of drama watching that if the two leads hug, it's regarded as an act of romance and love. Mostly in K-dramas, the couple start by hug and then go to the next step, the kiss. But right from the first hug, Seojun realizes the true feelings of Kyung. Kyung doesn't hug Seojun back, which is pretty much an explanation for Seojun and the viewers to understand that she does not think of Seojun as a man. Kyung breaks the hug and pulls away. Suho on the side watches this whole thing. Suho later on confronts Seojun. Both of them have a friendly conversation. Even Suho realizes that they are not dating in actuality because he saw how Kyung pulled away from the hug. Seojun there reveals to Suho that he did share his feelings with Kyung, but she didn't accept him back. Kyung is very worried about this whole situation. Kyung then decides to meet up with Seojun and give him an answer so that Seojun doesn't continue to chase her. As sooner Kyung rejects him, Seojun can start the process of moving on. Kyung wants to clear her feelings to Seojun and decides to meet him. But Seojun tries to avoid her because Seojun knows that Kyung will tell him and he's not ready to hear those words. He's not ready to hear that she doesn't like him that way. Seojun tries to avoid her. But Kyung wants to clear up everything as soon as possible, as she feels bad too for not reciprocating Seojun's feelings. And she knows that Seojun deserves an answer, even though if the answer is a no. Kyung goes to Seojun's entertainment agency and wait for him. She messages Seojun that she will be waiting for him outside. This leaves no option for Seojun to actually go and meet her because he can't leave her waiting. Seojun meets up with Kyung and hugs her. Seojun knows that it's his last hug and that he cannot show his affection towards her any longer, and he knows he can't force himself on the girl he loves who loves someone else. Seojun already knows that he don't have a chance because he tried too, but he found out that Kyung never really moved on from Suho. Kyung tries to initiate the rejection conversation, but today Seojun isn't emotionally ready to hear those words. Seojun can look into Kyung's eyes and he can see that she's already troubled by missing Suho, and he can see that Kyung will be happy only with Suho, so he decides to lie to bring Suho and Kyung together. Seojun lies that Suho is leaving for US again. This shocks Kyung so much. Seojun forces Kyung to run to him and meet him before she loses her chance. Kyung couldn't think of anything else at that moment. She rushes as fast as she could to Suho because she doesn't want to lose him once again. Right at that very moment, Seojun looks at the passion of love inside Kyung's eyes for Suho. Seojun tries to go back to his recording room, but he's going through so much pain. Seojun goes to the stairs and sitting there he breaks down. Tears flows through his eyes. These are the tears of all those 3 years of loving Kyung. These are the tears of bitter truth that Kyung and him was never meant to be. These are the tears of the realization that he has to move on from his one-sided love. Seojun remembers all those beautiful moments he spent with Kyung, from celebrating her birthday to teasing her on her graduation day. It's sad for him because he knows that he has to give up now. He has to respect the true feelings of the girl he loves. On the other side, Kyung rushes towards Suho's apartment. Kyung knocks on his door while crying. This moment shows Kyung's love for Suho. For Kyung, it was always Suho and it will always be Suho even in future. Suho opens the door and Kyung hugs him tightly and begs him to not leave. This shows the desperation in Kyung's love, how she is so afraid to lose Suho once again. People might judge Kyung for not accepting Seojun, but just as passionately Seojun loves Kyung, the same way Kyung passionately loves Suho. In love, there's no winner or loser. Love is about feelings, and Kyung couldn't lie about her feelings, not to Seojun and especially not to Suho. Kyung ends up exploding with all her feelings and emotions stored inside her for the past 2 years after Suho left. Suho hugs her back, and in that moment, they both know they madly love each other and can't live without each other. Kyung eventually finds out that Suho was never leaving and that Seojun lied to her about it. Suho realizes that Kyung ran all the way to his home because she was afraid of him leaving. This makes Suho happy to know that Kyung hasn't moved on. Kyung is embarrassed at this stage and tries to run away, but Suho stops her as they are meeting after such a long time and he wants to spend more time with her. Suho decides to drop Kyung to her home. As it's night and he wants her to reach home safely, in the car they get to open up about their feelings. Kyung then shares her pain of the past 2 years when Suho was away, how waiting must have been less painful than completely breaking up. Both Kyung and Suho cry their hearts out. At this very moment, no one can judge their love. No one can question their love. It is completely sure. It is with no doubt that these two are meant to be. Even the 2 years of distance didn't break them apart. They eventually came up together as if there was no gap at all. Suho apologizes for giving Kyung pain, but Kyung reassures Suho that it wasn't his fault either. Suho had no choice. It was hard for him at a whole new place, with his only family, his father, in a serious condition. Kyung understood that it was hard for Suho too. Kyung later on meets up with Seojun. This time she finally rejects Seojun and says thanks to him for everything he did for her. Seojun stops Kyung from saying much and reassures her that he will be moving on from her and that he will be so busy that he won't be able to remember her. I will be skipping through the comedy parts, but I will say though I was so thankful to the comedy in this drama as it really helped us feel better from all those heartbreaking scenes. The other worth mentioning part was about the focus on the careers of three main leads. This was the reason the drama had a strong ending, because it showed something beyond love. It showed dreams and aspirations of the main leads. It showed how life isn't all about love and falling in love. Kyung follows her makeup career. She is working as an intern at the moment, but Kyung has big dreams for future. Kyung does her best and continue to learn and grow from her skills. The model who Kyung is working for is a bully, and even though at first Kyung tries to put up with her, but eventually Kyung realizes her own worth. Kyung was always bullied in her school life, and only she knows best how painful that was. Kyung grew up into this wonderful and powerful strong woman who knew the power of self-love and standing up for herself. Kyung teaches this model bully a lesson. Kyung is a makeup artist and she deserves to be respected. This is where Seojun meets Kyung once again. Seojun is back with her girl crush power and vibe. She protects Kyung and then the both girls sit in for some talk. Meeting after such a long time, both the girls still remember their friendship days. Seojun apologizes to Kyung for all she did and she genuinely feels bad about it. Even though back then it was really hard for Kyung, but time does heal. Kyung knows that Seojun is genuinely sorry for her actions and Kyung wants her old best friend back. Things doesn't magically become perfect between the two friends, but it's a good start towards something good. Returning to the conversation of careers, Suho agrees on composing the song he only made a demo of back in old days for his friend Seojun, but now Suho agrees on completing the music. The song will be sung by Seojun for his debut album, so both the boys Suho and Seojun works hard for making this song possible as it would be meaningful for their late friend Seojun, so both boys put all their heart in it. A scene I didn't accept was the scene of Kyung and Suho sleeping together. It was definitely really beautiful as it showed the next step of their relationship and how they have come such a long way. So it was really very meaningful as it showed how Kyung has found her safety within Suho. Then there's iconic wedding of Kyung's sister which was extremely hilarious. The wedding really made the last episode cheerful. I also loved the side couples like Gowan's and Kyung's brother and then all the other relationships between the school friends. Lastly, by the end of the drama, there's Seojun's debut performance. Kyung adds the final touch in Seojun's look for the performance. At this moment, it focuses on Seojun's face, a hint of pain through his fake smile. Kyung checks Seojun's hand, which are quite sweaty. She thinks he's nervous about the performance, but he was nervous being so close to his crush. He realizes that it's still going to take some time to get over Kyung, but he knows he will one day. Seojun gets on the stage and performs the song. Suho is there in the audience too, and the moment is really special for both the boys because they remember the days spent with their friend Seojun. It brings tears to their eyes. They're both happy to make this song for their friend. Followed by this heartfelt song, Seojun sings a more upbeat song to liven up the environment. The song and scene ends with Seojun smiling. The smile has so much importance because it shows that Seojun is happy. He is happy singing. He is happy performing on the stage. There's not only sadness in his life, but there's happiness too. It is the happy ending for Seojun. The drama ends with Kyung and Suho in the comic book store. This store brought them together. I think it was the best ending they could give to Kyung and Suho. It was the perfect place to end the drama. The comic book store has a deep meaning for Suho and Kyung. Reading scary books at the comic store really shows how both of them share similar interests. I know this concept is very famous in dramas that opposites attract, and yes, it happens in real life too. Opposites do attract, but in future those opposites really become troublesome. I personally feel like common interests are very important for a relationship, and Suho and Kyung really had a lot in common, and their chemistry was so natural. It felt very real. They sat on the sofas and played around with each other. They made a beautiful couple. Suho and Kyung finally share a passionate kiss in the comic book store, thus officially ending the journey of true beauty.